Hey guys, Logan here, and we are straight back into building our prototype race engine, and so that means I'm going to set up the copper/nickel plating to start plating the next camshaft, and then while that's happening I'm going to head over to the milling machine with the new drill and reamer that's turned up and start machining on that next barrel. Slight change of plan. I'm going to do the head gasket surface in the lathe and get it to the right deck height and then back to the mill. A quick skim on the surface plate to remove any high spots. Zero in on the centre of the bore. Yeah. So I had to slot the hole because I must have made a mistake editing the CAD a while ago. Yeah, bugger. Now the nickel and copper plating went really smoothly. Thank you for all your help in the last video. It is very much appreciated. Although I didn't buy a variable voltage regulator thing because I couldn't find one that was reasonably priced, and I really couldn't justify it for two parts. Well, one part, I've already done one. So I just kept going with the stuff I had and made do. And so far so good. So now I need to work out the cam timing because I'm about to drop the cams off to be ground. And essentially wherever those lobes end up, that's their final resting place. I can't move it once it's set. I can obviously adjust the cam timing with the sprockets, but I want to be able to use the timing marks, so I want to get everything sort of roughly where it's supposed to be, so that I don't have to slot the sprockets too much. And then when I've got everything set and I'm sort of, doing test runs, taking the engine apart, putting it back together, I just line up the timing marks and it's good to go. And there we are. I have some instructions for roughly where they need to be degreed on the cams to be ground. So I'm going to now go drop them off. I think I might take the Suzuki this time. I've been riding my Honda an awful lot and I think it's starting to feel a bit neglected, so I better ride that one. Riding a bike is maintenance, people. What the hell was that? Oh god. Yeah, there's a bit of a lesson. When you feel resistance when adjusting the table, stop. Jesus. A one dowel here and a one dowel there. To get these dowels as accurate as possible, I am first milling them to 10 millimeters and then drilling them to 10.9 and then reaming them to 11. Alright, now with a bit of luck, we should be able to take these out, put the dowels in, and our cylinder head should fit right on nice and snug. Out of the way. There we go. That's what we want to see. Nice and tight. Now, if you're a machinist, you're thinking that boring head's going to unscrew using it in reverse, and don't worry, I've made it impossible. After the fiasco of having to slot the bottom holes, I'm not taking any chances. I have a sharpened piece of welding wire which I am using to scribe, and yeah, as you can see, sure enough, the blooming CAD wasn't accurate for some reason on these ones either, so better safe than sorry, because these holes are threaded. The moment of truth. Is my eye chronometer calibrated correctly? Yes it is, thank God. Next up, these heat treat supports have got to go. Now onto the cutout for the piston cooling jet. Behold, my latest setup. It's all I managed to come up with to do the latest operation. So if we look here, we've got to do the cam chain tensioner and to figure out all the angles. Yeah, sine plate, 90-degree plate, and a few shims and stuff. So I think it'll be rigid enough. So let's get to it. Nice. Finishing it off with an M8 tap. This inner surface here is actually the guide for the cam chain tensioner, so it needs to be parallel and also very smooth. Just going to put this tensioner blade on a little bit of a diet. Smooth as butter. I've just chucked the head back in the mill, and we're going to remove all of these cam chain gallery supports because they have done their job in the heat treat and they're no longer needed. I've had to switch over to the Dremel because there was actually quite a few pieces I couldn't get to with the mill. And there we are, I have the cam chain gallery on the cylinder head, all nice and smooth. We've removed all of those lumps and supports that were no longer needed. And I have the barrel all set and is ready to go on the cases as well. I've got the tensioner ready as well, I'll be able to see if it's sort of within the tensioner range, so I'm going to mock it up. And for that mock-up, I need both cams, and they're currently at the machinist, so I have printed off an exhaust cam as well so we can see where everything's going to sit. So let's chuck it together and see how we're looking. Cam chain first. That's too thick there. Right, so a little bit of an oversight on my part. I haven't put enough meat on this side to fit this thing easily. I'm going to have to make the top of it thinner, and I may have to make a different way of retaining it. A little bit of an oversight, or I could just make my own cam chain guide, which I can make any shape, but these ones are already made. I do have quite a lot of these, so I'll probably just modify one of these to see if that'll fit. And as far as the tension, I think the cam chain's a bit long. I'm not sure how much too long.
Logan, what about the head and base gasket thickness? That'll affect the tension as well.
Sort of, I'm going to say probably a couple links. So the head is actually taller than the original FXR head, but the cams are a lot closer together because the valve's got a steeper angle because it's, you know, more of a race inspired head. So that's not too bad. I think that's all doable. I thought I'd better whip up a temporary cam chain tensioner bolt, and so I've got a thin piece of stainless rod with a bolt welded to one end, so just measure it out, cut it to length, tidy it up, and I can fit it, and we can sort of figure out where everything's got to go for it to work together as one. Nice. I thought I'd just bolt it all together and give you guys a bit of a preview of what it's currently looking like so far with all the bits and bobs, and yeah, looking not too shabby. Now there's one thing I want to sort of run by you guys. A friend of mine who's an engineer who's real into this project is very certain that I should make my own crankcases now rather than later. Now there's a few benefits to that. One, they will be stronger and they'll be lighter than the current ones and more compact and all round just better. I get to learn a new style of casting, which is sand casting, because I've been doing investment casting at the moment. And the second one is that will hopefully get a few of those people off my back who are like, oh, you need to change your description because you're not making it all from scratch. Well, if I make the cases, that's at least another bit that I've made myself. So yeah, the negatives are it'll obviously take longer to make because yeah, we're getting closer. The barrel is pretty darn close to done. It just needs to be nickel plated, and I need to do some machining and order a tap for the water in, and that is at least one piece that is fully done. The cylinder head, I need to do the combustion chamber. The crankshaft, I need to do all of it. The prototype one, you know, I've done most of it, but the actual crankshaft, I need to do a lot of machining on that. So yeah, definitely want to hear you guys' opinion on the way forward. I would have got more time to machine in this video, but I had racing on Saturday and that took up a whole day of my weekend, and that's why I'm doing this, for racing. So I've got to turn up and have some fun. Set a new PB at Ruapuna, which I haven't done in like 3 years, so it was a pretty good day for it. And the very last thing I wanted to mention to you guys is I want to do this as a full-time job. I want to build super cool shit like this all day, every day, share the videos with you, but in order to do that, I need more people watching the channel. So if you can share this to every Tom, Dick, and Harry you can humanly think of, and yeah, spread the word, that'd be very much appreciated. And this has been Logan from the Motorcycle Forge. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.